So throughout your studies as an English student, you will be asked or required to write an essay all the time, whenever and wherever the module was or is. And teachers love a well-structured, concise, and straight-to-the-point essay. So today I will give you a list of things that you should do or shouldn't do when writing an academic essay. So what not to do is not to use slang, jargon, or any other language that is not academic. وش نقصدو بسلانج وجارجن وكما قلنا اللغة اللي ماهيش academic كما مثلا يقولوا في السلانج in English يقولوا bro يقولوا homie هادو الحوايج كما اللي راح جايين في informal language تسمى نتوما تفادوا بزاف انكم تستعملوا informal language ولا informal expressions. Instead, what to do is to use formal language. Use formal language. So too, what not to do is not to use shortened verbs, or as we call them, contractions, such as isn't, can't, shouldn't, wouldn't. Instead, what you should do is to use the full verb form instead, such as they are, is not, cannot. So you have to write them without making any contractions. So number 3, what not to do is to use common vocabulary, such as have got, a lot, nice, the other thing. Instead, make more formal vocabulary choices. Example, have found, a great deal, attractive. كما نقولها في بلاصة ما تقول a lot هذه انك تبقى تعاود فيها هذه common vocabulary معناتها vocabulary مستعمل بزاف ديما يستعملوه الناس وانت لازمك في الاساي شوفك اللي يقرا باللي راك عندك ستايل مميز عندك ستايل مليح انك تقراه تشوف اختلاف. Number 4 is do not use conversational opening phrases such as well, you see, yes, let's move on. هادو ما تستعملهمش خلاص في الاساي تاعك ليك اللي راك تهضر راك تكتب في spoken language. What you should do is to leave out conversational phrases, use appropriate connectors and introductory phrases. To conclude, moreover, connectors like that are much more academic and much more preferable. The next one is do not write I think, especially not at the beginning of a sentence. I mean, do not write, for example, I think James believes that global warming will, etc. Unless راهم هضرولك عليها قالولك عطيني الopinion tag وعطيني الارجيومون عليه هذه I think ما تستعملهاش أبدا في essays اللي ما همش مطلوبين عليك. Instead, be objective. Do not use I think, I believe, in my opinion, from my perspective. And similar to the previous one, do not use personal pronouns. For example, I, you, we, unless specifically required. For example, do not write, we think that you should be able to compete. Instead, what you should do is to be non-personal. For example, it should be possible for everyone to compete. Do not use sweeping generalizations. وش نقصدو بها هذه؟ إنه ما تكونش too general في تاعك الأساي. ماشي الموضوع اللي عطاهولك ولا thesis statement اللي عطاها لك. You develop it really or extremely general. What you should do instead is to state main ideas, specific ideas, clear and concise in your own words in topic sentences. انك تكتب بزاف حوايج مش معناتها انك قادر تكتب بزاف حوايج معناتها انك راك تدور وتلف في الكلام وما تقدرش تكتب حاجه concise تعطي meaning. هذاك التطوال تاع السنتنسز والتطوال تاع الكلمات بدون داعي راهو خاطئ. لازمك تكون concise ولازمك تكون specific و clear. هادو 3 كنت تتبعهم في الاساي تاعك بغض النظر عن كل شيء. خلاص احسن حاجه انك تستثمر في وقتك وتستثمر من وقت ثاني الانسان اللي راح يقرا الورقه تاعك. The next point is do not use bullet points or lists unless it is in a report. هذه خاطئة تماما، مستحيل أنك تستعملها في الأساي unless قلنا it is a report. هذا نوع من الأساي رايحين تقراو عليه اللي كما نقولها يتطلب منكم أنكم تكتبوا الحوايج هكذا. Obviously, what you should do instead is to use complete sentences and link these into logical paragraphs. The next one is do not pose direct or indirect questions in the running text. That is, do not write, for instance, can carbon emissions be reduced? Let's say you have a question. Convert this question into statements. For example, can carbon emissions be reduced? هنا نردوها. The possibility of carbon emissions being reduced is questionable. Do not take for granted that the spell check on your computer is accurate or will spot all spelling mistakes. شو نقصد بها هذه في حالة انك كما نقولها تكتب في الدار، ماشي في حالة الاكزام، خاطش الاكزام راح يكون تكتب يدوي. هذه في حالة الهوم وركس، في حالة الاساينمنتس خطي دير spell check. The last one is to mix verb tenses. You should not mix tenses. كي تستعملوا الباست تبداو به استعملوا past perfect past continuous، ما توليوش في tenses الباست ولا الفيوتشر وتخلطوها عليكم. This is it, you guys. This is the end of the video. Since essays are really important, you should really focus on them. You should really rehearse, write something and take it to your teacher, take it to someone knowledgeable so he can correct it for you. You have to write again and again and again to, let's say, to get into an excellent place writing, to be comfortable writing, to have it as an easy and a fun process instead of a really scary and stressful process.